Prime's exclusive wildcard playoff game is Saturday night. Jordan Love and the Packers take on Caleb Williams and the Bears. Not a Prime member? Sign up for a 30-day free trial to stream the game.
That's going to be caught for the touchdown.
NFC North rivals square off in the latest chapter of the NFL's oldest feud. The Packers and Bears in Prime's exclusive wildcard playoff game. Saturday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Only on Prime. Sign up for a 30-day free trial today. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details.
Why do growing businesses love working in Slack? Let's ask Christy at RE Bikes.
Running things in Slack saves me so much time.
AI summaries save 97 minutes per week. What say you, Rox from Gosney?
Slack helps us build community, it helps us build connection.
Your partners, vendors and customers all in one place. Take us on home, Ashley from Caraway.
If we didn't have Slack tomorrow, I would explode.
Well, let's not let that happen. Visit slack.com/podcast to get 50% off Slack Business Plus.
It really started to get rocky when I had asked him because, as you know, he habitually smokes pot, you know.
How do I know that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that you were informed of that.
I mean, I'm listening and yes, I read, but how do I know that, as you know?
This is the plaintiff, Daniel Torres. He says the defendant, his coworker and roommate, owes him for 6 months' rent and is a pothead to boot. When he confronted him about it, the lunatic flipped out on him, cursed him out like there was no tomorrow. And now that he's moved out, he can't get the $2,400 he's owed. This is the defendant, Edwin Valenti. He says he was extremely uncomfortable living with the plaintiff because he was a belligerent drunk who would engage in screaming matches with a girl he knew. He can't believe the plaintiff's actually suing him because the guy tortured him in his own house. And for that reason, and that reason alone, he owes nothing. He's accused of running out on rent.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
You see it, come to order. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Daniel Torres, you
Yes,
are
Your Honor.
suing Edwin Valenti, your former roommate, for $2,400 in rent from January through June at $400 a month because he abandoned a lease that the two of you had signed together.
That's correct,
Tell
Your
me
Honor.
what's going on.
Well, to begin, I guess from when I met him, we met through mutual people at work. It came about that I was looking for a roommate to renew my lease with at my apartment. I've done multiple leases in the same complex, and he was interested, so we met. He came, he saw the apartment. He agreed. We then later went and signed a 15-month lease. The entire time we've been working with one another. He doesn't have a vehicle. He came with next to nothing. The whole apartment was completely furnished by me. I mean, everything that you can think of. I even got him a bed. I gave him clothes. Since I have a vehicle, I was our ride to and from work. It started with just little stuff as far as his, as far as I'm concerned, in my opinion, just his irresponsibility and his lack of financial responsibility. He was short on stuff. I had to cover him at times, but it really started to get rocky when I had asked him because, as you know, he habitually smokes pot. You know.
How do I know that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that you were informed of that.
I mean, I'm listening and
Yes,
I
Your Honor.
read, but how do I know that, as you know? Okay,
I
go ahead.
apologize, Your Honor. I'm trying to cover everything and not
That's
leave
all right.
anything out. That's one of his habits. It's something that he does, you know, every morning at work, even at lunch. He's one of the guys that goes and hops into a car, and that's what they do for lunch, on breaks, at home. As far as at the house, I'm respectful, and he was always respectful at home. He would always ask me if it was in a common living area, you know, is this okay? You know, yes or no, but it was never an issue. The only problem that I ever had, and I asked him from the very beginning, was if I'm going to transport us to work, I ask you to never have any drugs or anything on you in my car, which he agreed to. Later, obviously, we worked together, so I caught him lying. I know he had stuff on him, and obviously, I'm his ride to and from work, so I know that he was lying to me because of that. I first threatened him, and I told him that it was never to happen again. He did it again, and that final time, I waited until the end of the day once we were at home. We got home on our own accord. And I calmly told him that I was no longer going to be responsible for him, taking him to and from work, And he immediately flipped out, became irate, started bashing me with a bunch of names. And that's when he first made his comments as far as saying that he was going to abandon the lease and he would just quit our job and just leave me stranded. I left the apartment after that for a few hours. I came back later when things were calm. We didn't speak. When we did speak, he apologized for everything. Anytime that we'd ever had any sort of heated argument, which were on a number of occasions, and it continued to get rockier after this instance, we would always talk face to face in person until there was a resolve that was met on both parties' end. And at a certain point, this was really the breaking point as far as the drugs being brought to and from. When I told him I wasn't going to take him anymore, I thought that things were fine after that, but I'm sure that he still harbored resentment towards me, during which we did not communicate at home or at work. We didn't talk about work at home and vice versa. We didn't even talk at work just to keep things on a civil level. But after this matter, it just became real uncomfortable, and we would just almost not even speak when we were at home. So it came...
Who brought up him moving out?
He did.
And he told you what?
He told me that he was going to leave.
During that fight?
Oh, yeah.
And then when did he actually leave?
He left... See, we had another instance after that, but he actually left in October.
Which is how long after that fight?
2 months, something like that. Maybe a month or 2 months.
Did you know he was leaving when he left?
Yeah.
He gave you how much notice?
He came... See, on a Friday, our bills were due, and I was always the one that handled the monies and made sure everything was paid on time. And I remind him ahead of time. I'd let him know that, X bill is due on this date, this Friday. We get paid weekly every Friday. So come Friday, obviously I'm not taking him home from work or two anymore. I'm already home. He makes it home. He's supposed to have his bills. He's short $30, $40 for whatever reason. And at this point, I'm done hearing reasons. And I just told him, I was like, it's irresponsible on your part, and I'm tired of it. So he then goes back into his room, comes out with crumpled dollars and change, and he throws it down on the coffee table at me. And I told him I wouldn't accept it. He went back in his room and closed the door. And I went back, opened the door. I set the money down on the nearest article of furniture there. And I told him, I was like, listen, I'm just sick and tired of it. You are just completely irresponsible with the money, and I'm tired of it. And then you wonder why I'm always reminding you about things. That turned into a heated yelling argument, and he left for the weekend. He returned on Sunday, and well, before he left on Sunday, he actually went into the kitchen. He made a big commotion so that I would see with his door open, grabbed trash bags from underneath the sink and started filling them with clothes. And I asked him what he was doing, and he said, nothing, I'm just cleaning. So I told him at that time, I can gather from what he was doing, what he was planning, because he'd already threatened it in the past. I told him, I said, if you're planning on leaving, this is your decision. I'm not kicking you out. At no point have I asked you to leave. And I expect that if you're going to leave, that you need to uphold your end of this by either continuing to pay the rent and or filling the room.
Okay, let's stop talking about what you told him, and let me ask you what he told you. When did he finally tell you, I'm leaving?
The following Sunday.
All right, and so he told you, that's it, I'm out, and I'm moving out when?
Sunday. I'm leaving that day. He came home on Sunday and said that.
So that was what date? Do you remember?
I mean, it was in October. I couldn't tell you the exact date.
And did he pay November?
He did.
Did he pay December?
He did. That was the last month that he paid.
So he paid November and December?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Did you make any effort to find another roommate?
Absolutely, and I have proof of it, Your Honor.
Okay. Show me the proof that you have. How do you have it?
I have a copy of, unfortunately, I've gone through many different avenues, even other coworkers at work, but I think I should have learned from this instance. I had to put it on Craigslist in the end, and you can imagine the weirdos I've gotten from there. However, I've made numerous attempts. I've had two people that had come, met me, seen the apartment. We shook hands, agreed that they were going to move in on such date, and they ended up flaking out on me.
How much was he paying you in rent?
$400 a month, Your Honor.
But you put it in the paper for more than that. You put it in the paper for $500.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor. Excuse me.
All right, but okay, so the idea is that you're trying to stop the bleeding, which means you should put it in the paper for $400 so that you can mitigate your damages.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're putting it in the paper for 25% more, and you weren't able to rent it, but you're asking 25%.
Well, it was completely furnished as well, Your Honor. Since he left, I've filled the room with more furniture. I mean, it's anybody that moves in doesn't need to have anything other than their clothes and their toiletries. And I even provide the toiletries, like, everything to clean with, toilet paper, paper towels, and such.
So your version of these events is very different. Tell me your version.
Okay, try to keep it concise. I moved in for the first 6 months. Frankly, after the first two, I realized it was going to be a nightmare.
Why?
I find frankly, I find the pot smoking and the pacifying of that light in comparison.
You find the pot smoking, which I guess you are agreeing that you do, and the what?
I find that him pacifying that, for me, light in comparison to the things that I put up with during when I moved in there.
What was worse than conducting illegal activities in his apartment?
The drinking was outrageous.
Okay. Because according to you, he is an alcoholic?
Just like every weekend, it was just, I started just getting ready for it. Like that guy who gets super drunk, has no respect for personal face, and, you know, he's in your face going, woo, yeah, you know, trying to get you to punch him. You know, he has several places on our road alone that he's been kicked out of because he walks out of bar tabs.
Oh, you said something in your answer to the complaint about him yelling at women.
Yeah, that was one of the things that was kind of like the last straw on the camel for me, is there was this girl, that he brought over, and for 2 or 3 days it seemed like it was just nothing but a non-stop shouting fight between the two. Walls are paper thin. I know the neighbors above and below us could hear us. And according to him, I had absolutely no right to tell him to keep it down, even though I did pay half the bills. And, you know, that one time, yes, I was short $20 one time on rent. And for the following 3 months, I even paid my rent at the place that I lived at, as well as my half of his rent. So all of this, all these financial, troubles that he's talking about having, I'm not really sure how that,
Is this the only proof you have that you're trying to mitigate your damages? Proof that you put it in Craigslist at a higher amount, 25% more?
I have receipts for you. I can show you proof of the bills that I've paid on my own since he's been gone.
No, because that's not in dispute. See, here's the thing. You guys have an agreement with the landlord, okay?
Correct.
You're both on the lease with the landlord. The landlord won't let you out of the lease, because why would he? I mean, if the landlord has 2 people who he can sue, he wants 2 people, not 1 person who he can sue. So unless there's something in it for him, he's not going to let you out of the lease. But that's one contract. The contract you come into court and sue on is a different contract. It's the verbal contract that exists between 2 parties when they agree to rent, 2 roommates, when they agree to rent a place together. The verbal contract between you two is it's going to be a 15-month deal. But that is not holy and sacrosanct and unable to be changed. If in fact the thing is getting to be unlivable, which frankly you both testify that it's impossible to live together, then people are entitled to live in a place that's livable, where you guys can live with each other. It's not as though he walked out of the lease and then didn't pay any rent. He continued to pay rent for 2 more months. And you have a duty as the plaintiff to mitigate your damages. And that means make a real effort to get a roommate and not get too picky or decide that you want 25% more. It's really bad for you that you're showing me something where you put it in at $500. Maybe it's worth $500, but you have to kind of put it in at $400 and get a roommate to stop the bleeding. That's your responsibility as the plaintiff. In this case, he continued to pay without living there for 2 more months. I believe that 2 months is a reasonable amount of time to find another roommate. Go ahead, I'll let you answer that.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So this is a little bit heavy, but can roommates coexist in the same apartment when one does drugs and the other doesn't?
Yes, if they have separate rooms.
Yeah, but there is a living room, right? So can they coexist?
No.
And you say that because?
Because one would get really upset with the other.
I guess the question is, would one tolerate it? But after a while, what do you think?
I think it would be a little bit impossible for 2 people to live under those conditions.
I do too.
Yeah.
Over time, I do too. Going inside the courtroom.
In regards to the amount that I was asking, again, I was trying to do nothing more than get myself out of this hole.
No, you were trying to make 25% more by asking for $500. Getting yourself out of the hole means putting it in for $400 so you can just get a roommate and then stop the bleeding. That's precisely what I find you weren't doing by virtue of putting it in at 5 instead of 4. I'm finding that even looking at it in the light most favorable to you, which is, that he walks off, he still, you still have the obligation to mitigate your damages.
Yes, Your Honor.
So no one can sit back. A landlord, for example, if you guys both left the apartment, the landlord can't sit back, put their feet up, and then never try to find somebody to rent that apartment, and then say, oh, by the way, you owe me the last 8 months in rent. Landlords can't do that. You're in kind of the same position. You have to make an effort to mitigate your damages. And the man did pay 2 more months to give you a chance to do that. And I don't find that you tried to do that, and my verdict in this case is for the defendant.
So it's a question of mitigating damages, and the plaintiff didn't do enough. So step on in here. What do you feel about that verdict? You understand the judge, right?
I do understand the judge. I wish I was given, another opportunity to answer some more of the allegations and the questions that were stated. Nobody could tell you without you actually being there. I've made numerous attempts to fill the room. He'd made no attempt, and I feel that it was his responsibility in a way as well to help me fill that room, which he agreed to and he shook my hand on when he left the apartment. I didn't come here to try to make, more than what I think that I deserved.
Okay. Follow Officer McIntosh around the corner there. Perhaps he should have put it in the paper for a little bit or online for a little bit less than 500. What's your feeling about the outcome here and how this went down?
Frankly, even I feel it was a little brief. There was a lot more that could have been...
Well, you won. What more do you need to say?
For sure, yeah. I'm pleased at that,
What made you seem that you think that you two were a good match at the beginning when you first moved in? Why did that seem good to you?
Because when you go into the apartment, it looks the way, it looks like it's ready for a showing every day. The apartment was beautiful, he seemed like a great guy, it's just that, there was no manual for what would come to be.
Okay. Yeah. Harvey?
So the judge talked about minimizing damages. In legal terms, it's called mitigating damages, which everybody has a duty to do. And the plaintiff in this case can't just raise the rent and then try to get a windfall. Because he didn't do the right thing to minimize his damages, he loses. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
I had that dream again. My small business needs to hire, but I don't use LinkedIn, and I hire wrong. So our orders get all backed up. We're drowning in paperwork, then actually drowning. Carol is fighting off sharks with a stapler, and pirates are pillaging the office copier, and then I wake up.
Don't let hiring nightmares ruin your dreams. LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant goes beyond the resume, using unique insights to deliver a smarter shortlist. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/quality. Start hiring today with LinkedIn.
Walmart Business saves you time, money, and hassle, which means you can focus on what really matters, like putting the money you save back into what you do. Spending more time training your team, filling orders, and finding new clients. Anything and everything, right down to, oh, that's the one, choosing the best hold music. Walmart Business. It's the Walmart you love, now for your business. Learn more at business.walmart.com.
This is the plaintiff, Damian Marine. He says he was driving his wife to work, and out of nowhere, wham, bam, the defendant rear-ended him. His son had to be taken to the hospital. The defendant said he'd pay for the damages he caused and the medical bills, and now refuses. None of this would have happened if the guy wasn't texting and driving, and now it's pay-up time, because his bills equal $4,088, and that's exactly what he's suing for. These are the defendants, Frank Engelzos and Dion Cyrus. Frank says his employee Dion was driving his car, and he inadvertently tapped the plaintiff's bumper. The guy's had 2 other accidents in the car. There was previous damage. Now the fool thinks he can sue him for all his repairs today? Come on, buddy. Get real. They're accused of causing a rear-ender.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case of the docket. The plaintiff says he was driving along when the defendant smashed into him, and the guy was texting. But the defendants say the employee was driving of theirs, and the so-called crash was a love tap. It's the case of my emotion is pissed.
Thank you, Douglas. Damian Marine
Yes.
versus Frank Engelzos.
Yes.
And Dion Cyrus?
Yes.
Okay, you're suing them for $4,088 for repair bill, ambulance bill, and lost time from work because, according to you, Dion rear-ended you. Tell me what happened.
September 22nd, I was driving on 38th Street, heading down towards Broadway to drop my wife off to work. So now I am at a red light, and the defendant was behind me. and I see his head in my rear mirror. I see his head down.
The head down.
Yeah.
A classic sign of someone who's texting.
Exactly.
Because they're really smart and they can text in the red light and it won't affect their driving.
Yeah. So the light was still red, and I said, look at this. He's texting. So then,
wait, you actually noted that he was texting to your family?
Yeah.
And you used profanity and your kid was in the car?
It was just I was angry.
How old's your kid?
He's 8.
Okay, well, don't use profanity in front of your kid.
I know, I'm sorry. It was just...
Yeah, you should put on, who's the wife? Why don't you get him in line? Go on.
So then, all of a sudden, boom, I feel the hit. I get out the car, and my son is crying. So I'm trying to calm him down, so I get out. I said, dude, what is wrong with you? What the hell he was texting for? He's like, I wasn't texting. I said, and then he said, he came out, and he heard my son was crying, so he said, hey, everything okay? I'm like, I just fixed my car. My son's, I'm gonna take him to the hospital. And I told him, I just fixed my car, and look what the damage that you did to my car. The paint is still fresh on it. He's like, I got a warrant. So then I was like...
Wait, he tells you he has a warrant?
He has a warrant. And I said, what do you want? And then he says, I work right here for Frank. So I'm like, I know the guy for years.
Know what guy?
I know Frank for years. I go to his business. Because
what kind of business is it?
He owns a souvlaki truck.
A souvlaki?
Truck.
Truck?
Okay. Gyros and...
Yeah, I got it.
For years, Now I don't even go there no more. Because of the situation, I feel a little awkward. So I got to send somebody to go buy it for me.
So you got to send somebody to buy it? So it's that good? The souvlaki is that good?
It is. Okay. Good. So, I mean, I got to send somebody
So
over
what?
there.
So you let the guy with a warrant slide because it was your souvlaki truck?
So then, it's just I knew him for years. So I was like, he explained the situation.
Was he driving for him?
Yes, it was Dennis.
What was a warrant for?
I don't know.
What's a warrant for?
I don't know.
Do you have a warrant?
Not that I'm aware of.
Did you tell him you had a warrant?
No, I didn't.
Do you have some problem that you didn't want the police involved?
No.
Did you tell him you did?
No.
Go on.
Your Honor, he told me he had a problem, so I said, you know what? As a man, we agreed. He's like, listen, I'll pay for your...
As men, we agreed. Let's see how that goes.
This is why we're here.
Yeah. Exactly.
We shook on it. He's like, dude, I'll fix your car. I'll pay your son's medical bills.
What was wrong with your son?
He had to get checked out because...
but was everything all right?
Yeah, he was fine.
He was shook up?
Yeah,
Okay.
so it was a shook up, and then he calls me up. He tells me, okay, get me the medical bills, get me all the estimates and everything. He says, Dennis is going to take care of it, and my brother, Mike.
Why Mike?
Because they were both there. They were the ones
What
there.
does that have to do with anything? If I watch an accident, I don't have to pay for it. Why would Mike take care of it? Is he a business partner of yours?
He's my brother.
So what? My brother doesn't take care of my bills. The car is under your name?
Yeah.
Correct.
So why would Mike have to take it? What are you people not telling me? What do I not know here? What does Mike have to do with the accident?
He was the person...
Stop talking.
Sorry.
What does
Can I
Mike have to
speak?
do with the accident?
We agreed to see a mechanic.
So you mean he was going to administratively, not that he'd pay for it, but that he would arrange to have it looked at?
Correct.
Right. To get an estimate.
Did you hit the
of it.
guy?
I tapped him.
Like, in other words, you were trying to move him along with your nose of your car? Why would you
No.
end up hitting him? Did you see him or didn't you?
I seen him.
Dude, you can't possibly be surprised that I'm asking you this,
No,
right?
that's what I'm trying to...
Because you keep hesitating. I just need you to tell me the truth. How did you end up hitting him? If your eyes are up and you're paying attention and you've seen that the light is green, you know there was a car in front of you, so how did you hit him?
Because he moved, so I moved along. But then he stopped, short. And I ended up tapping him.
Your Honor,
So let me just, no, it's not your turn yet.
Okay,
I'm
sorry.
still not done
Sorry.
skewering
Sorry.
Dion. All right, Dion. So you hit him because he stops short. Okay, which is kind of interesting because nowhere in Frank's statement does Frank say that. Did he ever say to you that the guy stopped short?
No, he did not.
No, it's the first time you hear this garbage, right? Because that's kind of the feeling I've got, that he's making it up as he goes along. So let's start from the premise that you agree that the accident is your employee's fault. And why was he driving your car? Was it during the course of the employment?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So now it's my understanding. Did you ever see the damage?
On our car?
No,
There's
not
damage.
on your car, on his car.
On his car, yes.
You did see
Yes.
it. All right. Can I see the pictures?
Mm-hmm.
And what did you think when you saw the damage to his car?
I thought that the extent of the damage was not our fault.
Why?
Why? Because if you're waiting at a light, how fast can you take off?
I don't know. It depends on how big a mistake you make. So, you know, let me see the pictures of the damage to your car. I mean, basically, it's a crack in the bumper of the Accord. What was the damage to your car?
There was no damage.
Yeah, what do you drive?
Minivan.
What is this a picture of?
That's the support where it was a center hit, and he pushed in the frame. You know where the trunk
Yeah,
locks?
but what is the staining here? What is that, rust?
No, that's probably some like thing from the manufacturer. But do you see it's bent in?
Manufacturer doesn't send off a car looking like that. I wonder what that is. Okay. Now, you end up taking your car to what auto? Show me the estimates for your car.
Yeah,
He tells you that he
this
took
the
it.
repair bill.
That he took it to get repaired, or that he took it to get an estimate?
Repaired.
All right, and you didn't like that because you felt like you should have a chance to have your guys look at it?
Isn't that fair?
I think it's fair, but you don't get to choose who repairs it. You know that.
Absolutely.
Right. Show me what he emailed you. So what's your defense? Let me ask you, Frank.
Okay, our defense is that we asked Damien for an estimate. He sends my brother an estimate. First, he sends page 2 and 3, which I'm giving to the officer here. And then we requested page 1. We got page 1, and we noticed that the date on page 1 was 9/23 of 2013.
Yeah.
Well, then what's suspicious? This estimate's September 23rd.
But if you look, it says August 7th.
Oh,
It was a
you
previous
just handed me
accident.
something that says September 23rd,
Was the date of the estimate.
right?
But the date of the accident says August 7th.
Date of loss, August 7th.
Right.
Right.
So your premise is that he crashed that bumper elsewhere and is trying to get you to pay for it.
Same damages.
Why does it say date of loss to August 7th?
On August 7th, I got into an accident in Long Island. So I went through my insurance. My body shop that I took the car to did the repairs. He said
Prove that. Prove that your car was completely repaired on August 22nd when this accident happened.
Okay. Now.
Prove it now.
I don't have.
Now you got it. You can't be serious. That's the entire defense to this case. That they think that you're scamming them.
Okay.
They sent you multiple texts telling you that. Did you ever call the repair shop?
Yes, we did.
What'd they tell you? I want to know if they repaired the car before August 22nd when the accident happened. That's the question you asked them.
No, they did not.
That's what you're saying.
So
That
he's
they
driving
told you,
around.
stop and wait,
Yes.
listen. So they told you we had not repaired the car before August 22nd.
Correct.
Okay, you best be able to prove to me that that's not true because that's pretty serious.
All right.
So what I need from you is the following. I need something from your mechanic, because he's your mechanic, that proves that you had the repair already done on August 22nd.
Okay, Your Honor. The shop is no longer in business, and I haven't.
That's very unfortunate for you.
And then also, I'm having some legal issues with him because of the August 7th accident. It was in August 7th. The car was repaired. My insurance company paid it.
Then prove that. That's so easy. Perfect. Now show me proof from your insurance company, because now it doesn't matter if the shop closed. Now all you have to do is show me that your insurance company paid for the repair.
Yeah. Okay, so can we take a recess so I could call him and have him fax over?
Yes. Court is in recess.
All rise.
So the defendant says that the plaintiff stopped short in the intersection. That's why he rear-ended him. Is that a defense?
Absolutely not. I feel like you have to be aware of everything that's happening around you.
Being aware, absolutely. What more do you have to be than aware? Plaintiff, in terms of distance.
We have to be kind of far back, and I think either way you're going to lose the fight because you're not going to.
Well, the far back is the point, right?
You can't be a tailgater.
There you go. And a tailgater means you need to know that somebody could do something stupid in front of you.
Exactly.
Exactly. Going inside the courtroom.
Okay. How many accidents did you have?
Okay. I had one in March, one in August, and then the one in September 22nd.
You folks texted each other a bit.
Correct.
Can I see your phone for the text? What you've been able to show me is that your insurance company gave you a payout. That doesn't tell me you paid the guy. In fact, that you have problems with the guy, which is what you say, tells me there's a reason to have problems, which means the work was done and didn't get paid. The critical issue for me is, was the work done after the August 7th accident? Yes. And was it done before August 22nd? We're going to do this once more. You're going to start from the beginning and get to the end, and you're not going to bounce around, and it's not going to get better as you go along. August 7th, you have a car accident. Someone rear-ends you.
Yes.
do you get that car fixed, and if so, on what date?
It was around September 8th.
All right. So you get the car fixed on September 8th.
Yes.
How did you pay for that car to be fixed?
My insurance company paid.
You're telling me that your insurance company sent the check directly to the body shop?
Yes. I never personally, Geico sends it directly to the body shop.
So what's the body shop mad at you for?
I'm going to get to that. He wanted me to give him more money.
For what?
For the damages for August 7th.
But why?
He said I owe him $1,000.
Why? Why? You heard me.
I don't know.
Don't make me guess.
No,
I'm going to guess. Porque donde tú vayas, yo fui, me senté, me tomé una soda y regresé. Which is, where you're going already went, sat down, had a soda, and returned. So he wanted you to give him money on the slide because he overinflated it for the insurance and felt that you were making money and wanted a little piece? We all know the answer. Okay. So is that right?
Yeah.
All right. So let's discuss a few things. I don't know that in my 14 years on the People's Court, I've ever seen a case this convoluted. And the problem is that when you tell me that the body shop that closed, that repaired your car, never gave you the car back, then I don't understand how your car could have been repaired and hit by him. All right? Then I hear that you fax him, which he has, and he could only have if you fax it to him, page 2 and 3 of a prior bill trying to extract more money out of him, right?
Correct.
And then when he insists on page 1, we finally find out that what you sent him was one from another accident, which kind of sounds like you're slimy, right? When you start to add all this stuff up, you make me all kinds of nervous. You make me all kinds of nervous. Therefore, I'm left to my own resources to try to figure out what this speed of a hit would cause. When I'm left to my own resources, usually nobody leaves here terribly happy, because I do take into account the things that concern me about people's credibility. You don't get your lost time from work. I see the bill for the ambulance is $738. I'm going to call the damage to the car $500, and I'm going to issue a judgment in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $1,238. That's my judgment.
And so with that, the defendant comes out of the courtroom on the losing end of this case. What do you make of this whole thing?
Well, from the beginning, we offered to give him $500 in good faith because we did actually hit his car.
Yeah.
But the extent of the damage that he's claiming that we made was a little too much. So this is why we winded up here. And I'm happy that $500 is being given to him. And at the same time, he's happy. We're happy. I get to keep my customer, and that's it.
Okay, right down this way. That's the definition of a good decision. Step on in here. Oh, thank you very much. What about your story?
I mean, what can I say? It was the judge's decision.
Your story was all over the place.
I know. You know what it was? That he confused that he tried to play PI, like FBI, trying to do investigation. I wasn't the one that they faxed it over to him. I called up the
Your
body
story just had so many inconsistencies in the courtroom that you lose credibility.
I can't do anything else. I got the medical bill. That's what I'm happy for.
All right, Harvey?
Bottom line is the plaintiff's credibility was severely impaired, but the fact is there was damage, and that's why the result. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Año Nuevo. Los mismos Extra Value Meals en McDonald's. Ahora te puedes llevar 2 snack wraps y papitas y una bebida mediana por solo $8. Solo por tiempo limitado. Precios y participación pueden variar. Los precios pueden ser más altos en Hawaii, Alaska y California y con entrega.
This is the plaintiff, R.L. Herring. He says he bought a pickup truck from the defendant, and the guy sold him a truck with a bad engine. The defendant's salesman's as slimy as they come in the used car world. He wants his $2,600 returned and is suing for just that today. This is the defendant, Mike Mickelson. He says he took the Ford pickup truck back from the plaintiff because the guy was being such a pain about the rear suspension and applied the $2,600 to another vehicle he purchased from him. That vehicle was a 2003 Suburban. And once the plaintiff had the Suburban and was driving it, he asked for the $2,600 back on the Ford. He tried to explain that the money was applied to the Suburban, but the guy doesn't understand. So here they are. He's accused of trucking it up.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff bought a pickup from the defendant and it had a bad engine. But the defendant says the guy was gunning for a free whip. It's the case of whip it bad.
Litigants have been sworn in.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome,
R.L. Herring?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Herring, you're suing Mr. Mickelson, who is the owner of an auto sales place. You don't want us to mention the name of the place, for $2,600 that you paid towards a truck that you returned to him, and he refuses to return your money. Tell me what's going on.
Okay. On August 23rd, 13, I put a down payment of $2,000 down on the truck. Okay. But what happened is when I came back on the 21st to get the tags and the registration, I paid an additional $300.
For the tags and the registration?
Yes.
So you put out a total of $2,600?
Yes.
Can I see the contract for the truck?
Okay.
Okay, you
Which
put
I
$2,000 down, or $2,000 plus $600 in taxes? The total purchase price for the truck was $5,686.93.
Yes.
All right, so the rest of it you were going to pay how?
Monthly, $265 a month.
Okay, and so you were financing the rest of the amount. Okay, so then what happens?
What happened is 3-4 days later, the truck was making a ticking sound.
A few days later, you started hearing noises.
Yes.
And you took the truck to your mechanic.
I took it to my mechanic.
And your mechanic said what?
He said the engine was no good.
Okay.
Okay.
And you had a warranty with these folks, right?
Yes, I did.
A 90-day warranty.
90-day warranty.
All right, so when did you return the truck?
3 or 4 days later, I brought the truck back, and I spoke to a gentleman there, salesman.
Okay.
And he told me, said it wasn't the engine, it was oil.
So what did you folks do when he had the first complaint?
The tapping noise that he heard from was an exhaust leak at the manifold. Okay. Which was there when he took it. Okay. Then he brought it back. I think we did a valve cover gasket or something.
No, what did you do about the exhaust leak in the manifold?
I sent it out to another shop to have it repaired.
Okay.
But he also got a warranty on the truck. He did not have to bring it to us. He could took it to any mechanic.
A third-party warranty?
Oh yeah.
Okay, got it. So he could take the truck wherever he wanted to get fixed.
That's correct. It's right here.
Let me see that. And the warranty company would pay for the repair.
Oh yeah, it's not through us. It's through ASC.
And did it cover
warranty.
a new engine?
No, there's nothing wrong with the engine. I still have the truck now. It runs and drives fine.
So how did you end up leaving the truck with them so now they have the money and the truck?
Okay, it's obviously they was not going to fix the truck.
Okay. Why didn't you just have him deal with this third party at his place and wash your hands of the situation?
We just tried to help him out.
That'll show you.
He actually traded in another vehicle.
He what?
He traded the car in another vehicle. That's what the lawsuit mine's about.
Wait. You traded the car in on another vehicle?
Yes, I did.
Okay, wait a second. Because I was under the impression from reading your complaint that you returned the car and they now had the car and the money. You actually did business with them again and got a different car? And traded this car in? What are you suing for?
For $2,000.
What was a new vehicle?
He bought a 03 Suburban.
And this was a what? A 97 Ford pickup?
Yes.
And the 03 Suburban, can I see the paperwork on the 03 Suburban that he signed?
Yes.
How do you figure you got the 03 Suburban without a $2,600 deposit? That deposit rolled into the Suburban. That's what I'm going to see now, right?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is your signature down here. Take a look at the circled part. Your $2,600 is how you bought the Suburban.
No, I give $1,000 for the Suburban.
He did put an additional
$1,000.
Yes,
but look at how much was the price of the Suburban?
It's right there. I believe it was around $5,800 total. And
so the $2,600 that you want him to pay you back for, that you feel you got cheated out of, is $2,600 that you, in your new contract for the Suburban, put down as a down payment on the Suburban. The purchase price on the Suburban is $6,509. $2,600 is you're giving credit for right here. And then I see also that you paid an additional $1,000.
He lost about $1,000 on the truck by trading it in on paper.
And this is something that was explained to him?
Yes, this is my sales manager here. He went over with him 2 or 3 times.
Come on up, please.
So, what is the oldest car you would buy? Going in the back. Oldest car you would buy?
3 years old.
Really? 3 years old? Let's go over here.
You know, I'm not into cars, so maybe 10 years.
Okay, that's why you're not into cars. What do you think?
Like last year's is all.
Oh, last year's. Valley girl. Just kidding. Going inside the courtroom, I shouldn't have said that.
Did you explain this to him, that if he wanted to trade the car in? I don't get it. Why would he agree to take a $1,000 loss instead of just using the warranty company to fix whatever was wrong with it?
I don't know. The truck that he bought was a pickup truck, okay? So the back suspension was a little sagging, but that was like that when he bought it, okay? That's why I said if he wanted to put the air shocks, if he would buy the air shocks, I would take care of it. That would take care of all the problems in the truck.
Hold on one second before you move on. Show me the evidence that there's something wrong with the truck. Did you took it to your mechanic? Do you have something from your mechanic?
No.
How are you going to prove? See, that's step one to me saying you owe this guy his money back, is you proving to me what you're saying. Otherwise, you just went in and changed your mind, didn't like the way this one drove and wanted a Suburban and signed a contract agreeing to all this, whatever's in there. How am I supposed to turn around and undo your contract? Their defense to this case is, Judge, we went over this with him. He signed it. He took the Suburban. This is a new deal that supersedes the old one. And why are they not right? Who's the guy with you who wanted to say something?
You know, but he was on witness. He seen me, you know, with the money.
What did you want to say earlier?
You speak Spanish.
Seriously? You're going to interrupt me to speak to me in a different language. ¿Qué es lo que usted me quería decir anteriormente?
Lo que pasó que cuando yo compré la Suburba, ellos me dijeron que me iban a poner el dinero en la Suburba.
Oh, it's really your Suburban?
Yeah.
Oh, you were slipping him the money to pay. Why didn't you just buy it under your name? You don't have a license?
No.
All right. Okay, gentlemen, we're done. We're done. There's a new contract. You signed the new contract, and there's no reason for me not to abide by what was good enough for you. If it was good enough for you, it's good enough for me. Verdict for the defendant.
All right, so the judge rules against the plaintiff, who's right here. Why is it that you thought the judge would undo the deal that you made?
Oh, because a number of times I took the truck back, and he knew it. You know, there was a problem with the suspension, and they tried to fix it, and they made it worse.
So?
It's done. It's over.
All right. Right around the corner this way, okay? So come on out here. Tell me, what do you make out of this situation? Nobody likes the used car guys.
I know, we all get a bad rap,
right?
But we're not bad guys.
Really?
And he didn't like this first car, he wanted to buy a Suburban, and that's what he did. He's the one that picked it out. I said, we're not selling this. You look at it, make sure it's right, and that's what he did.
Did he understand this deal when he signed this contract with you?
We explained it to him 3 or 4 times. He came back a couple times to look at it, and we did it before it was all done.
Mm-hmm. How come he doesn't understand this money applied?
I have no idea. Apparently, the other gentleman bought it and gave him the money, and maybe it's probably the other gentleman that doesn't understand.
Okay, Harvey.
Okay, Kurt, a couple of things. First of all, you just cannot win a case like this without expert testimony. If you are not an expert in the area that is the essence of the lawsuit, at the very least you have to bring in some kind of a notarized statement from somebody who is qualified to speak to the subject that you're arguing. Second thing I want to say is, everybody has probably done it, but it's a terrible idea to drive and text at the same time. You look down for 1 second and really bad things can happen.
Well, the holidays have come and gone once again, but if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now, you call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Limited time 50% off regular price for new customers. Upfront payment required. $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds may slow after 50 gigabytes per month when network is busy. See terms.